Friday, August 21st, last video before we go on a little bit of vacation here. We're going to get it in good. Things you need to know on today's slate. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, your top pitcher by a good margin with a 23.7 projection. Nathaniel Lowe, the guy in the thumbnail, top bat. You got the Guardians and Coors, and they are not priced for it. We're going to talk about that today. But yeah, Nathaniel Lowe, our top projected guy. Going to be a weird one. Stokastic Sims currently have Yamamoto at 33% coming up ownership-wise, so he's going to be one of your chalk pitchers on the day, chalk players on the day. We'll talk about that. Again, Vegas having Cleveland at 5.9 implied runs, the big one. You know the deal here today. We're going to look at my projections, top hitters, top pitchers, top stacks as well. We'll look at the home run model. We'll look at the pick'em streets with our friends over at Splash Sports. Hop for Stokastic, run a sim, see what their stuff is thinking right now. I'll do a hand build. The handy is coming up one more time. But in this video, guys, you're going to know all the industry's must plays. Welcome to my Splash Plays for today, August 21st, 2026. Let's get into it here. Hope it was a good slate for you guys. Yesterday had the early slate going on. Wasn't great for me. Didn't have anything break out, which is really what you need in MLB to be profitable in a given day. So the rake, I hope you guys enjoyed it yesterday a little bit more than that. But today, it's a brand new day, to quote Spider-Man. But we are getting into it right now, starting with Nathaniel Lowe, our thumbnail boy. Weird thing. So the Guardians, right, a team everybody shits on. 3 straight days I've had a Guardian on the thumbnail with the pitchers, Parker Messick, also Gavin Williams yesterday, both guys paying off fairly well. And now today, you got Nathaniel Lowe up top here. But 3,700, these guys are in Coors today, and they are not priced for it. Lowe getting 11.9 projection in my day today. It is also a day where we have no Vegas totals that are that good, besides Cleveland being in Coors. In Coors today, it's 90-degree weather. We'll look at the matchup screen in a moment here. You can see 5.9 implied runs for Cleveland. Number 2 is the Dodgers at 4.9. Colorado, the other side of that Coors game, getting 4.8. Arizona, Houston, 4.7. So you're talking about a run plus chasm with the Guardians today and everybody else on the slate. So that does mean to me, you want to be really mindful of getting with the field's exposure on Cleveland, having a good amount of that stack, 20% of that stack, 5-mans and 4-mans for Cleveland. That is the move normally. But Nathaniel Lowe, why is he coming up? And also his numbers, 18% sim win rate for me, fields at 14. Let's look at old Nate Lowe here. You're going against Tanner Gordon, who really has been bad against lefties. 350 lefties faced over the last 2 seasons, 1.45 whip, 6% home run rate, 280 ISO. These are egregiously bad numbers for that big of a sample size. Against righties, he does get less strikeouts, 17% K rate, does give up more walks and hits, a 1.5 whip as opposed to the 1.45. So we're talking about decimal points, but almost half the home run rate, 3.2%. Tanner Gordon occasionally gets guys to chase. 33% chase rate is not bad for a guy who really gets no strikeouts. You're talking about a 190 ISO allowed to righties for Tanner Gordon, a 280 ISO allowed to lefties. And you are going to get today, Nathaniel Lowe being your top guy, but Steven Kwan, Bazana, Jose Ramirez hitting from the left side of the plate. Angel Henau's a switch hitter. Angel Martinez, a switch hitter. Patrick Bailey, a switch hitter. Petey Halpin, a lefty. Brian Rocchio, a switch hitter. So you're getting switch hit city here. For Tanner Gordon, you're getting a bunch of guys going from the left side of the plate. Cleveland actually looks very good today again. So obviously, again, it's been the pitchers lately for Cleveland. But today, that stack is the driving force of everything. Nathaniel Lowe, number 1 for me. Again, we'll look at the isolated power, the WRC plus in a moment. But I want to establish why Cleveland is your main character team on today's slate. Jose Ramirez at number 2, 17% owned. I've got him at 18%. Travis Bazana, 10% owned. I've got him at 16%. Let's look at all these Cleveland guys. Steven Kwan's at number 5 for me, 19% owned. I've got him at 18. All these guys in the top 5. So let's tackle them in one swath here. All right, so everybody's basically hitting lefties. That's the first thing here. Like, legit, nobody hitting righty on this entire team. You got B being both sides of the plate, switch hitter. So we got lefty, lefty, switch hitter, lefty, switch hitter, switch hitter, switch hitter, lefty, switch hitter. Crazy. I feel like that's really a weird thing to see in an MLB lineup. Almost to the point where I'm like, did I pull it in wrong? But no, that's it. So for Cleveland here, not a lot of power. Obviously, all these guys getting park shifted to 90-degree weather. Coors Field, where we are getting generally a 13% park factor boost, 125% boost on triples, a 30% boost on doubles in Coors. Everything looks great in terms of the park upgrade for Cleveland. Your hitters, your top 5, all above average run creation. Kwan, Bazana, Jose Ramirez, Nathaniel Lowe, Angel Henao, or Angel Henao. 136 WRC plus for him. But power, it's really mostly low. A 212 ISO there. Bazana's got a 180 ISO against a righty. Jose Ramirez, a 164 ISO against a righty. These aren't bad numbers or anything, but it's really low who you expect to bring the most pop here. Again, earlier in the week, I had a massive night with the Milwaukee Brewers stack where it was Yelich being the good guy and then didn't have Churio in it, didn't have Terang, had a bunch of the left hitters that went off the bottom of the stack. That could certainly be the case for Cleveland today. Like Martinez, Bailey, Halpin, Rocchio, they got nothing special besides Halpin being a good steals guy. But the power can come from anywhere. Gordon is that bad, and just weird that it's going to be like all guys hitting from the left side of the plate against him when he is like comically bad against lefties. So Cleveland grades out, like they should, but they're too cheap. Like DraftKings raised Ramirez's price tag, raised Bazana's, but low Quan. These guys are way too cheap for that total in course. Yordan Alvarez, number 4 out of 5 for me. 10.6 projection in my data, 9.7 in Stokastics. I get some 7% owned by the field in their data. I'm at 8% in terms of a sim win rate here. For Yordan Alvarez, you get a lefty-righty matchup against JT Ginn. Unfortunately, you are in Houston, not in Sutter Health, so that's not the most ideal there. But still, for JT Ginn, terrible against lefties, really good against righties. We've talked about it a few times this year. 0.9 whip against righties, 1.6 against lefties. You're talking about 2x basically the walks and hits he's given up to the left side of the plate. K rate goes from 27% against righties to 19% against lefties. Isolated power goes from 130 against righties to 170 against lefties. Frankly, feels like it should be worse in Sutter Health. But you have 94-degree weather in Houston, wind blowing out at 8 miles per hour. Good spot for Yordan Alvarez with his 290 ISO, 190 WRC plus he's bringing against a right-handed pitcher. Video game numbers, drink if you are playing along at home. But I think for Houston here, really it's always Alvarez that pops up as the key guy in the stack. But, Paredes doesn't look bad. A good pop and a 125 WRC plus. Christian Walker, 200 ISO, 100 WRC plus. Varsho's got a 184, Altuve 170, and a 100 WRC plus, nothing special, but still not bad. So Alvarez looks the best, but Houston not bad overall against JT Ginn. And that is your top 5 projected hitters. Steven Kwan, I feel like we kind of just lumped in with Cleveland. I don't think we need to dig in much deeper here, but low to me, definitely a tier above with the power and the run creation for that Cleveland group. FanDuel, your top 5 would be low. Ramirez, for me, these guys coming up 25% or so. For me, field ownership on low seems low at 12.5%. Ramirez is going to be 25% expected owned by Stokastic on FanDuel's main slate. Yordan Alvarez, 12% owned. I've got him at 18. Travis Bazana comes up at 23% for me. Fields at 15. Steven Kwan on FanDuel, 18% expected owned by Stokastic. I'd have him at 22. A quick run through the top bats today, guys. We're less like a few minutes shorter than usual because how much are we going to talk about Cleveland? Cleveland's in cores. They look the best. You get the deal. Let's talk about our top pitchers, guys, before we do. Appreciate all you guys watching live. We're here. Happy Friday, Pimp. Yes, last day of work of on-stream stuff for me here. Data will still be updated on the site over the weekend, all next week as well. Even though I am not on stream here, have no fear. SplashPlayPodcast.com. The data will be there. Before we get to that part of things, guys, first of all, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Goes a long way for any content you join YouTube, whether it is a gigantic company, a mid-sized company, or just me, the mom and pop shop at DFS, doing the work as best I can here every day, Monday to Friday at 12 p.m. And really next week is the first time I've had a full week off of streaming for a while. So I appreciate all you guys who have been here for this entire run of the MLB. We have a good home stretch run coming up. I think for MLB, NFL is going to be a really cool product launch for me coming up. NBA is going to be even better than last year on this channel in terms of stuff I'm putting out on the site. Lots of cool stuff coming up. So please show some love back, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll still be doing some coding work next week because I got to get the products out, got to get everything going, and still gambling every day. Make sure to check out my site too, SplashPlayPodcast.com, pushing the release of the Apex tier. You guys will be getting my lineups, portfolio builder. A lot of people in the Discord seem excited about that coming out as well. That's coming out when I get back from vacation. For right now, you can still lock in your price though before I do increase things when I get back at SplashPlayPodcast.com/join. VIP tier includes my projections, exportable, very easy to use with one click on Stokastic. Also very easy to use for sites like SaberSim, whatever else products are competent out there. My VIP package under $40 a month, Squirt Squad tier under $20 a month. Get them both for yourself right now. And it's all one package as well. My MLB stuff, NBA, NFL, you get it all in one package. The goal is to keep you guys on board year round, gambling on the same stuff I do. In particular for best ball, going to be getting a lot of best ball teams done when Luca and Alex are busy for sure. How many times did I practice a line? I never practice anything. Everything comes off the top of my head. You know that. Everybody wants LeBron. Screw that. I want Chris Spags, baby. You'll have to work. You're the GOAT. I would rather be LeBron. I think by a decent margin, but I appreciate the sentiment nonetheless. And yeah, we're here. Put in one more good show before I try to recalibrate, get myself aligned for the upcoming big push for MLB, NFL, NBA all this fall. Or your top pitchers today. I talked about it up top. Yoshinobu Yamamoto coming up number 1, 10.6 salary, 23.7 projection for me, higher than Stokastic at 20.2. Stokastic, it seems, would slightly favor Cam Schlittler, but Yamamoto higher owned by the field. For what it's worth, it does seem like field ownership, generally a good predictor of pitcher performance. Obviously, this week maybe doesn't feel that way. We've had a few chalk pitchers not have the best days. But generally, the field's pretty good at identifying a top pitcher. And also, too, ownership correlates pretty well to hitter performance. The field's good at picking players, really one of the key things across all my back testing that I'm wrapping up one more round of before I do go on vacation. But Yamamoto, and I do it every day, but really wanted to get one more aggressive round. I've asked my agents for their own hypotheses, which we're back testing today. So going to have some nice findings before I try to dial back a little bit next week. But Yamamoto coming up more for me than the field right now. 36% win rate across my 100,000 contest size sims for the bat flip today on DraftKings. Fields at 33%. Why is Yamamoto coming up? Really has been rock solid all year. Avoids walks and hits, 0.9 whip. You're talking one of the better marks in baseball for a guy who's faced 1,200 plus batters the last 2 seasons. Under league average home run rate at 2.4%, above league average K rate at 26.4%. He also does have a pretty high 34% chase rate. Certainly could be higher, but you've got the ability to miss bats well enough here that he can hit that upper band of productivity sometimes. And of course, you do have 3.3 implied runs against him, which is going to be one of your better Vegas totals. So it all grades out well here for Yamamoto. You're going against Pittsburgh, who does have a really solid top 7 at this point. All these guys over 100 WRC plus from Horwitz on down to Mangum. Power 2, Brandon Lau brings a lot of power against the righty, 270 ISO. Valdez has also been good against a righty, though I think much better against a lefty. O'Neill Cruz over 200 ISO as well, over a 110 WRC plus. These guys can hit. But Yamamoto's good enough. You're getting that low total. Obviously, still with a 4.9 run total for the Dodgers and 3.3 for Pittsburgh. You're expecting, a win here for Yamamoto. So, think he looks good. Is he that much better than Schlittler? I don't think so, but he's coming up more for me, higher for me as well in the projection. So happy to get there. But today, you can see I've got 5 guys over a 20 projection. Yeah, Noah Cameron, not that far off. Sean Burke, not that far off. I think it's a pretty open pitcher slate today where I'm not locked in on Yamamoto the same way. No stream next week. What are you supposed to watch? You can watch Laffy. Laffy does a great job every day. I know you do. I know, Razor Ramon, you're in the chat, so I see you. Laffy had a funny thing today, too, where one of the guys in the chat was, locked in on Joey Cantillo being actually Joey Cantillo. And you guys know, I try to put, Latino pronunciations, everything, as somebody who is part Latino, grew up in the Bronx. So I want people to pronounce your double L's. But Joey Cantillo is Hawaiian, and he's also ethnically Italian. So, he's legit one of those guys where his name actually is Cantillo. And there was a guy in Laffy's chat on Stokastic stream who could not give up. He was like, it's Cantillo, every Latino. And I'm like, oh my God, man. People, it's funny because people are right. He was right about the double L thing. And I do hate when white people pronounce Latino names with the double L and don't give the Y sound. But Laffy was 100% correct on Baseball Reference. It even has oh, it's Cantillo. It's not Cantillo. And this guy would not fucking stop. And I feel that's that's 2026 for you, man. Just people cannot go. They think they're right, and they don't even want to take 1 second of research to go, could I be wrong? And it's yep, you are, in fact. It's Joey. I learned. I would have thought it was Cantillo, too, but no, it's Cantillo. Cam Schlittler, 21.7 fantasy points in my day. Joey Cantillo, by the way, nowhere near the top 5. So really, or Cantillo, didn't have to talk about him. But it was really top of mind for me because I'm holy shit, this guy is so confidently incorrect, and he will not stop. And those are my least favorite kinds of chatters. But Cam Schlittler at number 2 here, 21.7 in my data. Stokastic would have me a little bit higher. But 20% owned, 22% in my win rate right now. Schlittler going to be your most live pivot to Yamamoto, coming in with slightly less ownership because he is slightly more expensive. But the Vegas total is even better today. 3 implied runs. You're going to get Toronto, who does not naturally offer up a bunch of strikeouts, a 17.5% aggregate K rate. Only one guy who strikes out above league average in their lineup. But Schlittler's stuff has been good. 31% K rate, chase rate at 37%. You are talking about the ability to miss bats, even though lately it has not been as consistent for him. Weather as well, under 80 degrees, wind blowing in today in Yankee Stadium. So maybe you're dulling some of the park factors a little bit there. I think Yamamoto to me feels safer, but the field is going to own him, at 33%. The field's at 20% Schlittler. So if for a tournament play, I'll be there on Schlittler, probably get him into third of my lineups. Yamamoto, I think right now, would be the guy who makes half of my lineups at pitcher. ATN being 8chan. Well, I mean, I think that has, I don't want to speak out of turn here, but I think that also is like a slavery thing where the name got lessened into ATN and it's supposed to be 8chan, and it was part of, Italian people have the same, not the same thing, but a similar thing where like your names get like whitened coming into the country. And I think that was the logic for Travis 8chan wanting to be called 8chan. But I don't know. I'm probably saying shit that's not even accurate. Respect people's names though. If they want to be Cantillo, they're Cantillo. If they want to be Cantillo, they're Cantillo. Reed Detmers, 21.2 fantasy points in my data. He and Mackenzie Gore, 8K range looking good today. Both these guys, 20 plus projection. Detmers is ahead for me though. Stokastic would have Gore higher than Detmers. So look, I feel my pitcher projections, you guys have watched the show, hopefully enough, but back tested as well. Like I really have good pitcher projections. But that said, when you are close enough here, it doesn't matter. Like I think having a slight shade towards Detmers, slight shade towards Gore, you should be getting these guys in comparable amounts because the range of outcomes and their projections are this close, are really similar. But Detmer's 15% owned for the field. I've got him at 20%. His matchup today, technically the best on paper, with 7 guys that strike at above league average. That said, you are getting the highest Vegas total going against him, a 4.1 implied runs. Reed Detmers today facing Texas. In Texas, you are getting the big park factor swing from him, even though Angel Stadium actually has played pretty favorably for pitchers lately. But Texas here going against a lefty. You got some guys who could smash it. I mean, Foscue in a small sample size, not even that small, 115 plate appearances, 173 WRC plus 290 ISO. That's monster. That's video game stuff. Jake Berger at 250 and 136 WRC plus. ISO is the first number. He looks good. These guys hovering around 200 with Langford, Seager. Nimmo's not bad either. Look, I think Detmers has been good this year. 29% K rate, 35% chase rate. Feel like him not giving up the dangerous power as much. His home run rate has really trickled down this year. But I don't know. That's a high total for Texas. It does feel 4.1 implied runs, more than I would expect being in Texas with Detmers being as good as he's been. But yeah, I mean, did I just say but yo? We're talking about Latino names and take me back to the Bronx. But yo, I really think you guys need to fucking hear me on Reed Detmers. Think he looks good. Do you think he's a very live pivot to Mackenzie Gore at half the ownership? So when I say but yo, you got to listen. Also part Latino, thought it was Cantillo. Yeah, I mean, I was corrected. It's Cantillo. I mean, the thing too is like, yeah, if he were a Latino guy, it would be Cantillo. Instead, he is Hawaiian and Italian, so it's Cantillo. It's me and Spagnolo. Like, could I do Spagnolo? Yeah, but it's Spagnolo. Let's keep it easy. Mackenzie Gore at number 4 here, 20.5 projection for me. Stokastic would have him higher than Reed Detmers, but a lower projection overall. But a 30% ownership rate for Mackenzie Gore is what they're expecting. I would have him at 29%. And for Gore, getting the other side of the equation, getting the good park factors as well. Being in Texas where it's 100 degrees, but they won't know that inside that park where you're not. The air of Texas doesn't even touch fucking the inside there. It's so crazy. Like Arlington used to be one of the most fun ballparks, and they made it into like a pitcher haven where there's, I mean, I guess DeGrom has benefited from it, but everybody else, it's just like more scoring, always better. Zach Neto, I want Blurn's ball from Futurama out there. But Zach Neto is really your only dangerous power guy up top. That Shanuel, no pop. Grissom, no extra base pop at all. Mike Trout, even against the lefty, he's got nothing at this point. 170 ISO, 126 WRC plus. Both are good numbers at above league average, but for Mike Trout, it's just kind of sad to see him not be where he used to be. Jose Siri's got some pop, bad run creation. Denver Guzman's had some pop, extra base stuff, but bad run creation as well. Both guys well under a 100 WRC plus. So look, Gore's getting a not bad matchup here. We know the Angels, 6 guys that strike at above league average. It's an easy strikeout matchup, but we have seen this matchup fail pretty often, for opposing pitchers, more than it feels like it should. But look, Gore's here. He's going to be mega chalk today, owned by about a third of the field. I don't think that's going to be a number I back off of here, even though it's not, never fun to roster Mackenzie Gore. And you got live pivots today. If you hate Mackenzie Gore, you got 4 other guys you go to up top, and I think it's perfectly fine. Praise Allah, no pitcher on DK tiers. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a DK tiers guy, but I'm glad that helps out. Baited pitchers, Haven spent a shit ton of money on Seager and Semien. Yeah, baseball teams, I feel like sometimes it doesn't align the approach, but whatever. What do I know? Sonny Gray, 20 points, Fields 17.7. Stokastic Others at 17.7 projection-wise. Against 11% ownership, 18% win rate. I've been on Sonny Gray a lot this year at low ownership, and he has paid off pretty frequently, so I'm cool with Sonny Gray. That said, you are getting the better version of the Giants, like we always talk about, righty pitcher. You're getting a bunch of Giants who have over a 100 WRC plus, your top 6, all safely above it. Rafael Devers in the 2-hole revenge game back in Boston here with a 270 ISO and a 150 WRC plus against a righty. That can be a problem for Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray's been lights out against lefties over the last 2 years. 1.1 whip, 2.4% home run rate, power at a 135 ISO compared to 165 against righties. Sonny Gray's chase rate at 34%, so you can hit that upper band of strikeouts. Look, I think the Giants always a team I'm a little bit intrigued by when you have a pitcher picking up decent amount of ownership. But if the field's going to be at 11% on Sonny Gray, I don't think I need to get to the Giants today as much. I haven't looked at top stacks, so it's possible they come up there. But I don't see it being a spot where, like, I don't think it's a soft pitcher going against soft righty rather going against the Giants. That's when I think the Giants are kind of appealing to take that shot. Or, getting leverage against it. Like, you just take that chance that they can get to a chalk pitcher. Today, Sonny Gray is not going to be owned, so I don't think it's a Giants day. FanDuel at pitcher, top 5 would be Yamamoto. Same thing here. Only guy over 40 in my data on FanDuel in terms of projection. 28% owned. I would get him at 18%, so still my number 1 pitcher. But always on FanDuel, I think you should get less ownership than the field ends up playing these guys at. Because if you only have 1 pitcher on there, it's a way to get unique. Cam Schlittler, 15% owned, getting 13% for me on FanDuel. On the main slate, Mackenzie Gore, 14% owned, 12% for me. Reed Detmer, 7%. I've got 10. Sonny Gray, 5%. I've got 8. Noah Cameron, still hanging around in that same range. Manaea not going to be owned at all on FanDuel, but looking pretty decent. Now he's no Yamamoto, but he looks decent on FanDuel. That's how hitter and pitcher looks for me on DraftKings and FanDuel, guys. We're getting to our top stacks next. Before we do, though, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Again, it goes a long way for anything you enjoy on YouTube, but especially me just doing the work as best I can. Sure, I could have not done a stream today. I'm going to go on vacation tomorrow, but no, I am here. I promise you guys every day, Monday to Friday, that I can be here. I am going to take 5 days off next week. Then I'll be back on the grind for MLB, finishing up NFL, getting all that stuff ready too. NBA is coming up real fast. I think it's going to be a really awesome NBA year. I'm excited, guys. So join along now. Hit that like button, subscribe. It does help out a bunch here. If you guys are watching live, check out Stokastic too. Supports the show. And you go over there and join right now with the promo code SPLASH. Any package, weekly, monthly, yearly, get it all for yourself for 15% off. And of course, it is the promo code SPLASH. Really do recommend using their sim. You want to cap exposures a little bit, cap your stacks, spread things out a little bit more. But it is a great sim, an idiot-proof sim that'll give you good lineups every night. I use my projections with it too. Very easy to do if you have a Splash Play podcast membership and a Stokastic one. And the big one, guys, my site, splashplaypodcast.com/join. Go there right now. As I've mentioned a bunch of times here, we really do have a lot of cool stuff coming up on the site this year. And really, for me, I constantly add more, constantly try to back test to make it better. It's not a stagnant product, splashplaypodcast.com, for the better, where obviously if you have stuff that works, you want it to keep working forever, but you should still use the resources available. 2026 DFS is different than 2023, 2024, where a lot of products that are out there got created. So check it out at splashplaypodcast.com. $40 a month for VIP, $20 a month the Squirt Squad tier, and get in now and you will lock in your price when I increase things when I get back from vacation and add a new tier, the Apex tier coming up, which will have lineups for the first time, portfolio builder for the first time. Very excited to roll that stuff out for you guys. Or your top 5-man stack. Highest ROI right now for you to be Cleveland. Again, high total here, 5.9 implied runs, 48% chance to score 6+ runs in my negative binomial model. If a stack hits 6+ runs, usually means that it was playable. Sometimes a 5-man, sometimes a 4-man, but it means it was playable to some capacity. The best combo coming up right now in a small sample size would be Schlittler and Yamamoto, so paying all the way up because we can afford whatever we want with this Cleveland stack. Martinez, Rocchio, Nate Lowe, Bailey, Halpin make it. So we're not getting Ramirez, who I think is really going to be the big one. Going a little bit cheaper with Cleveland. I think we've seen Cleveland enough already here. You get the idea, but quick gander here. Like I mentioned, your top guy is always going to look better. Baseball lineups mostly optimized on that. That said, your bottom 4 would not roll out Martinez, Bailey, Halpin, Rocchio. Very open to Juan, Bazano, Ramirez, Lowe, Now as well. They are all hitting from the left side of the plate today. It's crazy. You don't see that very often. And Tanner Gordon's been getting abused from the left side of the plate. More hard contact. He's already getting barreled at 11% rate. Like he's not good. A 290 ISO, 280 ISO. When you have 350 batter sample size, like that's really numbers you want to target here. So whether it goes right or wrong, I don't care. Bad bullpen behind him too. Cleveland is the team today, and you get whatever you want from it. Pick your poison. Baltimore, here's a team we haven't talked about at all. Only 4 implied runs today, but is still safely in the Vegas rank where if the field flocks to Cleveland, and frankly they should with how cheap they are for a Coors game, teams like Baltimore coming from that deeper rank band of Vegas totals, that's what wins pretty often on slates of this size. But Detmers and Yamamoto getting paired with Mayo, Beavers, Taveras, Alonso, and Basallo. Basallo? Which one is he? Is he a Cantillo or a Cantillo? Let's go over to Baltimore real fast here. 4 implied runs against Freddie Peralta, who's just been getting unfortunate matchups since he got traded to Tampa Bay. Today he goes into Baltimore where it is a 2% park factor boost to 13% home run boost. So another not great situation for him to pitch in. Just let him pitch in Tampa Bay a little bit, I think. Get his footing. Pete Alonso's great against righties, 260 ISO, 156 WRC plus. Basayo, 240 ISO, 120 WRC plus. You have 5 guys above league average in run creation here. The other guy's not so far behind. The Kobe Mayo, I feel like, is a lot better against lefties than righties, if I'm remembering. Baltimore, nothing special here, but you have the big upside bats, the Alonso, and to a lesser extent, Basayo. Yeah, I don't mind them. I think they're certainly not like a standout team here, but there really aren't standout teams. We're seeing the Vegas totals get flatter as the weather kind of gets a little bit less, browbeatingly hot every single day. So Baltimore's coming up here is under-owned and a 9% ROI. And the White Sox round out my top 3 5-man stacks. You could honestly, there's a bunch of positive ROIs here still. Could be Stokastic ownership not being all the way caught up too, because if a stack's under-owned, it's going to grade out a little better ROI-wise. The White Sox here at number 3. Let's look at them. Obviously, a team, when you get a lefty against them, they're not going to look quite as good. You still have a bunch of guys that hit lefties decently. 6 guys over 100 WRC plus against a lefty with Minaya. Manaya's been very good against left-handed batters, 1.1 whip and a 2.4% home run rate as opposed to a 1.4 whip and a 4.3% home run rate to righties. 230 ISO to righties compared to a 140 to lefties as well. So your righties here will have the best chance. Murakami's not as good against a lefty, but still got pop. But Midroth, Vargas, Grichuk, Montgomery, Doyle, Acuna, Jake Rogers, all going to get a decent matchup against Minaya, who just does not have it against right-handers. Yeah, the run total does not scream Minaya having a good day. I know he's had the big upside lately. Won people slates, I think last time out. But yeah, I'm not crazy about Minaya, so happy to get some leverage against him here, especially if people do box score chase a little bit. 4-man stacks, we got Seattle and Miami coming up here. Seattle, a 12% ROI for their 4-man stack. They also look good in a 3-man. Miami coming up as well with a 4-man and a 3-man. Let's look at the both of them, I guess. Not Sean Burke. Let's go to Seattle. You got Seattle in T-Mobile, so not great park factors for the hitters here. You're going to get to Matthew Boyd. Got a 1.2 whip overall, just league average stuff. 3% home run rate, 20% carry. It's under league average. Seattle's got a bunch of guys that hit a lefty decently. 6 guys over 100 WRC plus. Not crazy pop. Cal Rowley has a 250 ISO. Julio Rodriguez has a 220. Taylor Ward just under 200. Rosarena, same thing. Canzone, not that far off. They're not bad. I don't think they're anything special here. I think it speaks more to the flatness of the slate. I feel like we've had a couple slates like this lately where, like, yes, to me, Cleveland, number 1 far and away. Everybody else in the slate, I just feel like is kind of the same team. They're all 4 to 4.9 runs. Maybe some of them have better splits than others, but they're not bad. You got a bunch of top 5s that look decent. It's not like a very obvious slate besides Cleveland. And Miami, I want to look at real fast here because they're coming up a bunch. You got a matchup in Miami, so not great park factors. Going against Brad Lord, who's not been good against lefties, a 1.6 whip, 204 ISO to lefties, only a 0.08 ISO to righties and a 1 whip. So the righty's not going to have a great time here. But Marcy, Conine looking decent here. Edwards will hit from the left side. Everything else is righties. Which I guess is why my data likes the mini stack more. But Griffin Conine, my God, it's up to a 310 ISO and a 156 WRC plus. He's obliterating right-handed pitchers, so like he's got to be in a Miami stack, I think. But Marcy will get a decent matchup here. Edwards will get a decent matchup. The righties, though, might be in a tough time. You're getting a really good park upgrade for Lord going into Miami, and then he's awesome against righties. Just really weak against lefties. Really appreciable splits for Lord here. Not to be confused with Randy Marsh. Your top FanDuel stacks, 4-man, Miami, Giants, Houston. Look, we've seen enough of these teams throughout the video. I'm not going to go back over there right now. You want to see the individual combos for FanDuel? Pause your screen here. You got some Detmer, some Hancock, some Minaya coming up in the small sample size. Your top win rates on both sites. DraftKings right now, Yamamoto wins more than a third of the time. He'll be slightly lesser owned than his win rate in my data. Mackenzie Gore, 29% win rate, fields slightly higher at 30. Cam Schlittler, a 22% win rate, fields at 20. It's all pitcher up top until you get to Nathaniel Lowe, who at 3,700 is the play of the day in my data, it seems. FanDuel, your top win rates. Jose Ramirez, 27%, fields at 25. Nathaniel Lowe, 25% win rate, fields at 15. Actually, at 13. Bazana, 23% sim win rate, fields at 15. Quan, it is all Cleveland up top here in terms of my sim win rates. Even if you're not getting to the stack, I think you want Cleveland guys as one-offs, mini stacks, all that stuff. Home run model right now. Griffin Conine, number 1, 4 stars of confidence against Brad Lord. 35% home run probability. Lord, bad against lefties. Conine, monster against righties. Perfect matchup today. If you get plus money on Conine in any home run markets, I would take that immediately. Byron Buxton, 32% home run probability with 5 stars of confidence going against Randy Vasquez. It might be Joe Musgrave. I think Vasquez is the one that betting markets expect, Fantasy Labs expects. But San Diego's pitcher was not confirmed before the show. Cal Rowley going against Matthew Boyd here, 32% home run probability. Obviously, Cal Rowley has not been there very often hitting home runs like he did last year, but still looks good in the matchup going against Boyd. Kyle Schwarber at 31% against Hunter Dobbins with 4 stars of confidence. Shohei Ohtani, 29% home run probability today against Bubba Chandler. Not the greatest total for the Dodgers, though. And that is my data, guys, and it's many DFS and home run betting applications. There's one more big one left. Of course, that is a world of pick'ems with our friends over at Splash Sports. Check them out yourself. And really good time to sign up right now if you can, because I am trying to get them in the door for MLB, for NBA, for NFL coming up in the fall here. But really the big thing is that, Splash, they have $20 million Survivor contest going on right now. They have quick pick stuff where you can use my pick'em tool all day. You could also go peer-to-peer on there. It's a lot easier to play as opposed to playing against the house. So if you are trying to play pick'ems, I do recommend playing them on Splash Sports. Get a 50% deposit bonus right now over on Splash Sports. 100% quick picks boost as well. You can see here on the screen. Let me just I'll load up the entire thing. So you go to quick picks, boom, click MLB. You then get the first poll here of a bunch of players combined. And then load the quick picks tool. There you go. It's free. You don't have to be a member of the site. You can just use it right away. And you can scan against all the available markets. It'll do it automatically too, but I'm hitting the scan button anyway. Jackson Churio, high EV on his more on hits, runs, and RBIs. Bryce Harper, 26% EV on his more on hits, runs, and RBIs. Ozzie Albies looking good. You could also go game by game, find the best individual picks for each game if you want. Real Muto looking good for his more on hits, runs, and RBIs. Bryce Harper we just talked about. Toronto and the Yankees. Alejandro Kirk, not bad. Josh Smith, less EV than some of the other ones. Washington and Miami. Anything good here? Griffin Conine, of course. Though, frankly, the market's a little bit softer for him. Do expect him to homer, though. But really, do this as long as you want here on Splash Sports. And the big thing, too, is because I'm in Pennsylvania, I get these weird combo markets. I don't get everything. You guys that are out there in other states, you'll get every individual projection I have competing against Splash Sports markets in real time. And I will tell you guys, it is soft markets on there, not just the peer-to-peer part. The actual lines they set are softer than sportsbooks. So a lot of good things to go with over on Splash Sports. Check it out for yourself. Promo code SPLASHPLAY over there. We'll get you that 50% deposit bonus, a 100% quick picks boost. Please go use that promo code SPLASHPLAY on there. Give me some negotiating leverage so I can get there, so I can get that money up, guys. that's the goal. It's business, baby. Here you learn so much about MLB. You learn so much about NBA. On the NFL channel, you learn so much about that. And you also learn about content creator business, which is always trying to get your money up. All right. 5K lineups here. Looks like they just updated too on Stokastic. So pretty hot off the presses here. While this runs, guys, like, subscribe. Helps out me. Helps out anything you enjoy on YouTube. Stokastic is very sim. Get it for yourself. 15% off the promo code SPLASH. Any package, weekly, monthly, yearly, get it all for yourself. It is the best tool to hop in right away and use. Of course, I'll give you guys some tips about how to get more of the sim in a moment after it runs. And of course, my site, guys, splashplaypodcast.com. Go there right now. No better way to support me as I head into vacation for the week. I'll be with my in-laws, and I love them, so they're great. But it's going to be a poll. So I would love to see some membership signups there. You guys are not getting data from me for free on video. Get the paid version of it because I will be updating the same cadence I always do. I'm also going to be still gambling on every slate, so don't worry. You will be in good hands with my data updates next week. But go into splashplaypodcast.com if you're going to miss me next week while I'm on vacation. Get my data, my sims, all my stuff for all the same slates I always cover next week too. There we go. That was important though, guys, because I know a lot of you guys do rely on the video, and I know you guys love to get it for free. I give it out for free, baby. I put my legs up, and you get it all here. But really do encourage you guys, if you want the data next week, the only place you're going to get it is on the actual site. So please do sign up. And here we go. Sims finishing up. Here we go. All right, here we go. They're giving you 5-man stacks. My last day before a little break, and they're not making me say the thing where I don't want you to play parlays from Stokastic. Can't encourage you guys enough. Always play 5-man stacks on Stokastic. If you've been struggling with your MLB DFS profitability, 2/3 of the field that finished top 100 are 5-man stacks. Really important to have that as your baseline. Then if you want to add some 4-mans on that, even your parlay 2-man, 3-man bullshit, do that with the remaining 33% of your profile. But getting the 5-man stacks right is always the most important part. Right now, the top ROI teams, according to Stokastic, will be a Cleveland Angels 5-2 up top, so getting some leverage against one of your chalkiest pitchers in Mackenzie Gore today. You got Yamamoto and Emerson Hancock with Travis d'Arnaud, Nate Lowe, Angel Hinao, Jose Ramirez, Zach Neto, Fernando Tatis, Stephen Kwan, and Petey Halpin, who does bring big steal upside, even though to me he sounds like the most backyard baseball-ass character ever. I think I'm thinking like Pete Wheeler is in my brain. He's fast, too, so that probably helps a little bit. Sean Burke here, Reed Detmers and a Cleveland Angels 5-3 at number 2. Travis d'Arnaud again, Nate Lowe again, Travis Bazzana makes it. Lots of Travises here. Angel Hinao makes it again. Zach Neto makes it again. Mike Trout in this one. Angel Martinez makes it. Stephen Kwan makes it. So Cleveland 5-man's your top 2. And in fact, 3 out of your top 5 are Cleveland 5-man stacks. A White Sox 5-man at number 3 with Yamamoto and Eduardo Rodriguez. Jake Rogers, Shohei Ohtani, Chase Meadroff, Junior Caminero. We're getting some big bats in this one. Luis Angel Acuna, AJ Ewing, Bretton Doyle, Randall Grichuk. Grichuk looked good in the data. The other guys, Meadroff, fine. And obviously Ohtani, Caminero, whenever you can get them, fine. That feels more like a parlay around Ohtani and Caminero than it does like a really fun stack. Colorado 5-man at number 4 for Stokastic. You have Reed Detmers with Mackenzie Gore. Then you get Braxton Fulford, part of this Colorado 5-man, or not part of it, but it's in this Colorado 5-man. Shohei Ohtani, Connor Norby, Jose Ramirez, Ezekiel Tovar, Cole Carrig, Bretton Doyle, and Jordan Beck. At number 5, you got Reed Detmers and Freddie Peralta. And a Cleveland Dodgers 5-2. Patrick Bailey makes it. Nate Lowe, Angel Hinao, Jose Ramirez, Zach Neto, Shohei Ohtani, Stephen Kwan, Teoscar Hernandez. Look, I like the Cleveland stacks a lot. It does seem like you can afford either really good pitching or good hitting alongside of it. Hard to imagine Cleveland not getting owned out the wazoo today, but they deserve it. Like, they are not priced for being in cores. At least, half the lineup isn't. More than half. Your top ROI players across Stokastic's entire set of lineups that got simmed out here. You got Jacob Marcy at number 1, who we talked about. Gets a good matchup in the leadoff spot against Brad Lord. Stephen Kwan at number 2. Nate Lowe at number 3. Connor Norby, Ezekiel Tovar, Jordan Beck. Colorado Rockies rounding out the top 5, top 6. And frankly, you got higher ROIs for Ramirez, Bailey, Hinao, Varsho, Halpin. There's a lot of positive ROIs. Their ownership has got to be fucked up or something. That's too many positive ROIs, I think. 3-man stack ROIs, they have Houston being number 1, Cleveland 2, Colorado 3. 4-man stacks, Miami 1, Cleveland 2, Colorado 3. I'm getting some of these combos up top. 5-man stacks, Cleveland 1, Houston, Miami, Colorado not that far behind, Arizona not that far behind. Okay. I guess I didn't favorite them all. Hold on. Your top 150 here. Let's see, exposure, 71% Mackenzie Gore. Think I'd rather have more of Yamamoto, but Gore is cheap. Good park. A lot of strikeouts there. I think you make the case for Gore to be in half your lineups today. I don't think 70%'s right, but we always talk about it. You got to flatten your exposures that they give you. Factory settings on Stokastic, and really any sim, just not what I would normally want to do. Stephen Kwan, 19% owned by the field. They've got him at 59%. That's too much of a hitter. Capping hitters around 33% if they're top 5 projected play is how I approach things. But Kwan looks good. He's cheap at 3,800. Being in cores, that total, there again, if you miss it, you're just tuning in now. Today, the Guardians total in core is 5.9 implied runs. You're talking about, 1 run better than everybody else on the slate. Maximum. Nate Lowe at number 4 here, just behind Jose Ramirez, 48, 49% for these guys. They both look good to me. I think it's a little bit much, though, for the hitter ownership. Still want to get a lot of Cleveland, but to me, 30-year lineups is probably the max. Yamamoto, 43% exposure, Fields at 32. Sure. I think he looks good. And Angel Hinao just outside the top 5. Your highest positive leverage plays: Mackenzie Gore, 43% leverage; Stephen Kwan, 39% leverage; Nate Lowe, 32; Jose Ramirez, 29; Angel Hinao, 18. Big ol' stands on that Cleveland stack. Again, they are your apex team today in terms of Vegas total. Negative leverage plays: Sean Manaea, negative 7%. They are fading him after the recent good box score results. Price tag's still cheap for Manaea at 7,600. For Manaea, and I said it yesterday, kind of feels like Bieber to me. Like, you've had some good results. The longer term sample size is still not that good. And there are some weird hand splits for Manaea too. I wouldn't expect him to be good again, but it's worth pointing out. It does seem like there's some signs of life lately that maybe he gets back to what he used to be, much like Bieber. Sonny Gray, negative 7% leverage on him. He looks better in my data than in Stokastics. I've got him projected about 3 points higher. Ben Rice, negative 5% leverage on him. He's not coming up today. For Ben Rice, you got to match up against a righty, so I would never really want to be out on Ben Rice when you have that. He brings a 280 ISO to 150 WRC plus against a righty. Not crazy about Ben Rice or anything. The Yankees only have 4.2 implied runs, and Arrigetti's not bad. He mostly avoids, crazy power, but above league average power to lefties, I don't know. I like Ben Rice more than Stokastic, probably always. Jose Caballero coming up lowly, Grisham coming up lowly. They just don't like the Yankees overall, it seems. All right, handy time, guys. One less handy before I go on a break. So I can rest up my forearms for you guys for this handy when I get back. Well, let's do it. Large contest, 25% to first. We'll grade out my top 5-man stack. We'll grade out my top ROI lineup, which is built independently of Stokastic. We'll see how it goes. It's pronounced Ganoa. Yeah, that's right. Feels like a 2-0 Cleveland one with 2 Pat Bailey solo dongs. I hope not. But look, if the Stokastic's giving people Cleveland a lot, I am not going to be alone on Cleveland, so that's fine. Their total's too high. Like, they're going to be... They'll factor in. But I really think the biggest thing is, like, DraftKings just didn't price them for the total they're getting and being in cores. And, any hitter can have a good day, but a hitter in cores with the highest Vegas total, you expect it to happen more. All right, we got Cleveland stack for me is my top one. But we are pairing top arms with it, Schlittler and Yamamoto. Zoom out a little bit more. And then for the hitters from Cleveland, we've got Angel Martinez in the outfield. We've got an Angel in the outfield, thank God. We got Rocchio hitting it, some bottom of the order Guardian stuff. Can't wait. Nate Lowe, who my data will not move away from today. He probably will be my highest exposed guy. Patrick Bailey at catcher. And then Petey Halpin, fresh off the latest stint alongside Pedro. What's Pedro's name in fucking Backyard Baseball? I'm stuck on him being a Backyard Baseball character, and I apologize for it. But our team here, 5-man Cleveland stack with Cam Schlittler and Yamamoto. Let's complete the lineup here. Pablo saying, this was not my generation, guys. I'm an idiot. Somebody's going to hear this and going to yell at their fucking YouTube, and I get it. You're right. It's Pablo Sanchez. I literally only know Backyard Baseball from YouTube creators who play it as adults, so... I apologize. The lineup here we are grading out, though. Stokastic completed it. We got Schlittler and Yamamoto with Bailey, Lowe. Connor Norby makes it. Eugenio Suarez makes it. Brian Rocchio makes it. Angel Martinez, Jacob Marcy, Petey Halpin. They're loving it. 54% ROI, 0.2% win rate, 2% top 10, 40% cash rate. That's a really high cash rate. Cleveland stacks, man. Just the recipe for everything today because you can afford all the spike stuff around it. The Cleveland stack today, for you guys who play NBA, it's your 3K starting setter. It's Paul Reed. You guys remember that. So that's how it goes. Raleigh pretty much free on FanDuel. I mean, with his home run probability, I would always take that shot. I like, you guys know if you watch the show, longer term sample size matters so much in MLB, and I feel like people lose that a lot. Raleigh still brings huge power over the course of the last 2 years. Like, take that shot. All right, my top lineup right now would be this one. It'd be a Yamamoto Detmers lineup. Yamamoto. Big Reed Detmers coming in here. Yes, you better savor this handy, all of you. Enjoy it, because I'm not putting out for a week. We got Bailey making it again. This lineup's going to look pretty similar if I had to guess. We got Nate Lowe making it again. I am Brokeback Mountain with Nate Lowe today. For me to put a hitter on the thumbnail, I'm getting them a lot. Angel Hinao, Max Muncy makes it from the Dodgers. We've had both Max Muncies have good days in the last week and pop up in top lineups for me. Today we're going back to the Dodger one. Got Brian Rocchio making it. Petey Halpin again making it. After his friend Pablo Sanchez, he's been hanging out with. There we go. Griffin Conine makes it as a one-off here. Again, my data really wanted to gobble up Big Griff here. And Byron Buxton. So some different one-offs here, but that's that look really good in terms of the isolated power and WRC plus, the stats that I would evangelize the most. So we got Yamamoto, Detmers, Bailey, Lowe, Henao with Max Muncy, Brian Rocchio, Petey Halpin, Griffin Conine, Byron Buxton. I mean, Stokastic didn't even like Max Muncy when he had like a fucking 7 total going for him in Coors, so I don't think they're going to love him today. But an 11% ROI here, 0.1% win rate, cashes at 34%. That is not bad. I think these are very playable lineups today. And Cleveland, Griffin Conine, oof, those are going to be some big bets for me today, I think. But I'll give you guys my splash plays of the day one more time before I take a little week C off C here. The data, again, will be available on the site. But guys, if you can, please help me out because I'm going to get fucking slaughtered in the YouTube algorithm not doing a video for a week. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Goes a long way for anything you enjoy on YouTube, but especially me who is constantly battling the YouTube algorithm on this channel that started as an NBA channel. And like an idiot, I probably should have kept them all in one channel. It should have all been the NFL one, but whatever. It's too late now. We got 2 channels, but I'm going to keep doing the work here when I get back from vacation. Data will be on the site all next week. I work as hard at this as anybody, so please show some love. Hit the like button and subscribe. Stokastic, 15% off any data, any tools, promo code SPLASH on there, cheaper than a lot of the discounts we're giving out on stream now. So check it out for yourself, support the show. And if you want to stick to big companies, you cost them more money by giving me money, and then they also have to give you a bigger discount. So go to Stokastic, promo code SPLASH over there. I know that's a sales pitch they want me to give you, but I'm going to give it at the end of a video. Splash Sports, promo code SPLASH play, 50% deposit bonus, 100% quick picks boost. Support the show as I'm in the middle of negotiations with them by signing up right now. Get a quick picks in there. If you do those 2 things, honestly, do a cheap one. Really would help out. So please go Splash Sports right now and use that promo code SPLASH play. Get yourself the deposit bonus. Play Survivor too. Really think for you guys out there. That's big money. And, you know, we all want to win the big money. And last but not least, guys, my site, splashplaypodcast.com. No videos from me next week, but my data will be on the site as it always is, updated around the clock. I'm going to be on vacation, but I'm still going to be gambling because I got to build my bankroll up for NFL. I'm trying to get as much money now as I can off MLB to waste it all on NFL right away. Please do join along. SplashPlayPodcast.com. Lock in your price. Price is increasing when I get back from vacation, adding another tier as well with lineups and my portfolio builder for the first time in the public. But get it now. You can always increase your membership later on. Get it while it's cheap now. If you want to stay VIP, great. If you want to increase your membership, you can do that too. Like, lock in the prices, guys. Really encourage you guys to do that while you can because they're increasing. Splash plays of the day. Have you guys heard of this Guardian stack? I think they're a really important one, but that's it. Everything else is pretty flat beyond that. As one-offs, like guys like Griffin Conine, Jordan Alvarez, I'm highlighting that as a one-off more because like the Cleveland stack, I think is a really important first part. And then you rotate some of the highly projected one-offs around that. But Baltimore stacks, White Sox stacks, Miami, you got a lot of playable shit, I think, on the slate. Cleveland, though, is number 1 far and away. Pitcher on DraftKings, Yamamoto, number 1 for me. Gore, Schlittler, not that far behind, but I would say Gore is kind of on his own tier at number 2. He'll be chalky, though. Schlittler, Detmers, Gray, all very playable to me. Noah Cameron playable. Then a drop off to a bunch of guys under 10%, like Burke, Wisniewski, Manaea. FanDuel, my top stacks. Miami, Giants, Houston. Seems like Cleveland coming up a little bit lower. More playable to me as one-offs and mini stacks. But really, it's a flat slate on both sides in terms of the stacks you could play. And really, it always is an MLB. But I think once you get past Cleveland, it's the totals are all kind of mushed together. And a pitcher on FanDuel, Yamamoto number 1, Schlittler 2, Gore 3. Then a drop off to Detmers, Gray, but it's FanDuel, flatten out your pitcher. That's the way that should go. Make sure to gamble responsibly, guys. Even though there's always money time on this channel, follow me at Chris Spags. Follow the channel at Splash Play Bets on YouTube. On Twitter, both at Splash Play Pod and Chris Spags will tell you whenever I go live. And I did an NFL best ball video yesterday on the at Splash Play Pod channel. Check that out if you're trying to get in some underdog and DraftKings best ball drafts, especially if you haven't used the best ball champion tool to give you guys as part of my Splash Play podcast membership. Check that out because that video I put out yesterday, and that's my last draft video of August, most likely. And that's it, guys. So I'll be out. I'll be in the Discord if you need me. I'll be putting up projections as always. So stay tuned there. But I'll see you guys again soon. So make sure to gamble responsibly. It's always money time here. And I said that part already, right? Whatever. I'll see you guys again soon. Enjoy your days. Good luck. Catch you guys in about 10 days. All right. Bye, guys. See you later. And there we go. Now I'm going to hit the button. Bye.